For decades, Julia Roberts has been more than just a Hollywood star. She's a living legend, the radiant America's sweetheart whose smile and grace captured the world's heart. But behind that dazzling light hides a story of deep pain and resilience. Beneath every smile was a little girl who grew up in a fragile, fractured home filled with silence, fear, and heartbreak. Born in 1967 in Georgia, Julia's parents were pioneering actors who stood for equality, admired by Martin Luther King Jr. Yet her childhood was far from easy. Her parents' marriage broke apart when she was just 4, leaving a void when her gentle father moved away. Her mother's remarriage brought tension and instability, turning their home into a place where raised voices and police visits became common. Julia struggled with a stutter and the weight of unspoken fears. Tragedy struck hardest when Julia's father died of throat cancer when she was only 10, leaving her devastated and silent. Yet, he left behind a precious gift, bedtime story tapes that comforted her in the darkest nights and symbolized a love that transcended death. At school, her bright smile was mocked, but acting became her refuge, a way to find her voice and turn pain into strength. From these wounds emerged not just America's sweetheart, but an actress whose depth touched millions. At 17, Julia arrived in New York City with little money and a fierce determination. Facing cold winters, rejection, and hardship, she held on to one vow: try again. Small roles and commercials marked her first steps. Injuries on set mirrored her inner scars, but she refused to stop. Discipline and resilience became her armor. From a broken childhood to Hollywood stardom, Julia Roberts' journey is a testament to the power of hope, strength, and the courage to keep moving forward, no matter the odds. Julia's father's antique watch, worn smooth from years of holding her hand, was her most precious keepsake. But desperate and hungry, she pawned it to pay rent, each crumpled bill feeling like a betrayal, as if she was selling her own heart to survive. Years later, after fame found her, she bought it back, not as jewelry, but as a scar-turned symbol of survival and unbroken legacy. Her breakthrough came with Mystic Pizza in 1988, where her fierce energy caught critics' attention. But it was Steel Magnolias in 1989 that truly tested her. She wasn't the first choice and faced harsh criticism, yet she poured her pain and resilience into the role, earning her first Golden Globe and Oscar nomination. Julia's journey from New York's cold streets to Hollywood's bright lights was fueled by grit, sacrifice, and an unyielding dream. Then, in 1990, everything changed with Pretty Woman. Despite production setbacks and a modest paycheck, Julia's unforgettable smile and performance transformed the film into a cultural phenomenon, cementing her as America's sweetheart. Fame brought challenges. Her engagement to Dylan McDermott collapsed under media pressure, and she struggled to balance private pain with public life. But Julia kept pushing herself with roles like Sleeping with the Enemy and Dying Young, showing a fearless commitment to her craft. By the late 1990s, Julia was Hollywood's queen of romantic comedies, with hits like My Best Friend's Wedding, Notting Hill, and Runaway Bride enchanting audiences worldwide. Then came her groundbreaking role as Erin Brockovich in 2000, where she shattered Hollywood's glass ceiling, becoming the first woman paid $20 million for a film. Her fierce, raw performance won her an Oscar and solidified her place as a true icon. Behind the spotlight, Julia's heart faced storms, fragile relationships, and fractured dreams. One brief but intense romance with Liam Neeson taught her that love could be both a shelter and a storm, shaping the woman behind the smile. The tenderness and pain from Julia's past deeply shaped her performances, giving roles like Shelby in Steel Magnolias and Vivian in Pretty Woman an emotional depth that captivated critics. Her brief romance with Liam Neeson awakened her emotional core, teaching her that love, even when it fades, leaves a lasting mark. But fame brought harsher lessons. Her engagement to Dylan McDermott, at the peak of her rising stardom, was crushed under relentless media scrutiny. The promise of normalcy was shattered as their private love became public spectacle, ending in heartbreak and a painful realization. Fame often means belonging to everyone but no one. Later, Julia's high-profile relationship with Kiefer Sutherland was billed as Hollywood's golden romance, Plans for a grand wedding stirred public fascination and hope for a fairy tale ending. Yet, just before the ceremony, rumors and pressures mounted, and Julia made the difficult choice to walk away. The canceled wedding was a public heartbreak, turning private pain into headline fodder. Despite the silence and shattered dreams, Julia transformed her pain into powerful performances, bringing raw vulnerability to sleeping with the enemy and dying young. The unworn wedding gown and empty altar became symbols not of ruin, but of resilience. Afterward, Julia sought solace with actor Jason Patric, brief comfort amid the chaos, showing her courage to risk love again. Then, unexpectedly, she married country singer Lyle Lovett in a quiet Indiana ceremony, stepping into a new, simpler chapter away from the spotlight's glare. No paparazzo or headline could capture what Julia Roberts found when she quietly married country singer Lyle Lovett in a small Indiana church. To the world, it was shocking. To Julia, it was a simple grasp for belonging, a tender attempt to anchor herself to something real. Their marriage was brief, less than 2 years, but it ended with mutual respect, a recognition that love sometimes means knowing when to let go. For Julia, each romance was a step toward finding sanctuary. By the mid-1990s, after an engagement, heartbreak, and a brief marriage, she saw these as chapters in her search for lasting love beyond fame. Filming The Mexican, she met Daniel Mauter. Steady and grounded, despite initial whispers, their bond grew quietly. After his divorce, they married in a private New Mexico ranch ceremony. Together, they built a family with 3 children. Fame softened beside motherhood's quiet joys, her true sanctuary. Losses like her half-sister's death and brother's estrangement brought pain eased by her children and fragile reconciliation. Through heartbreak, Julia found strength and purpose in her career, reflecting lived truths. August. Osage County was memory-made art, sharing "You Are Not Alone." Roles in Homecoming, Ticket to Paradise, and Leave the World Behind showed her range from joy to deep anxiety. After the Hunt marks a steadier flame. Beyond acting, she shapes stories with Red Om Films and shines as Lancome's muse and in fine jewelry, evolving at the crossroads of film, fashion, and business. Despite health rumors, Julia lives with balance: yoga, meditation, Malibu walks, honoring her body and guarding her peace. Her private life centers on family and sanctuary, with wealth protected in trusts. Loss deepened her tenderness. True wealth for Julia is simple moments: coffee, family dinners, children's laughter. To the world, a star. To herself, safe and whole. Quietly generous, she supports causes and embraces her heritage, redefining romantic comedy, breaking pay barriers, and blending strength with vulnerability. America's Sweetheart became a symbol of resilient tenderness. Now in Malibu with Daniel Mauter and their 3 children, Julia focuses on presence, not the spotlight. "My life is mine," she says, a superstar choosing humanity. From a girl with holes in her shoes to a woman walking barefoot on her ranch, her story is one of resilience and healing, a legacy of light born from wounds. Has her light reached you? Share your thoughts and join us for more heartfelt stories. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share our videos.